Welcome to the Dolphin Rewind, where we take a look back at the events that surfed into Monmouth Beach this month. I'm Ryan Kirshner.
And I'm Ashton Cease. There's been a lot happening here in Monmouth Beach over the past few weeks, so let's dive into some highlights on the Dolphin Rewind. Monmouth Beach School proudly celebrated Arbor Day with a meaningful school-wide event focused on the environmental stewardship and community pride.
That's right. The celebration included the planting of not one but two trees, symbolizing our commitment to caring for the environment. Students from across the grade levels played special roles. First and second grade students shared original poetry writing that highlighted why trees are so important to our planet and our community.
Kindergarten students stole the show by singing Way Up High in the Apple Tree using American Sign Language, while MBS students led the audience in a patriotic song before everyone joined in together for the Arbor Day anthem, Plant a Tree for Tomorrow.
The ceremony was honored by several distinguished guests who presented the official Arbor Day proclamation, including Mayor Sommers, Commissioner Anderson, and Brian Thompson.
Adding to the historical feel of the day, members of New Jersey Society Sons of the American Revolution Monmouth chapter attended in period uniforms and helped oversee the ceremony. Students then took part in planting trees themselves.
A heartfelt thank you goes out to the Monmouth Beach County Board of Commissioners, the Monmouth County Shade Tree Division, and the Monmouth Beach Shade Tree Commission for their continued support of our school and community.
On Monday, April 27th, Monmouth Beach students participated in the Bubbles for Autism, which is an initiative that started in 2004 and has become a global event for Autism Awareness Month to foster unity awareness for families facing autism.
That's right. All students were invited to take part in a bubble blowing event that happened outside in front of the school. Students blew bubbles and watched them float high into the sky.
Right after that, our youngest learners participated in a special bubble show assembly that was filled with excitement, laughter, and amazing bubble tricks.
Meanwhile, students in the upper grades took part in a meaningful and engaging presentation focused on inclusion given by special guest speaker Timothy Rohr. It was a fun day, bursting bubbles and big ideas.
Our Monmouth Beach students and staff recently took center stage while the Red, White, and Boom talent show, and what a night it was. Students shared an incredible variety of talents, from singing and dancing to performing instruments, performing magic, and so much more.
The audience was treated with non-stop entertainment, big smiles, and amazing performances that truly showcased the creativity and confidence of our students. The event was proudly organized by the Monmouth Beach PTO and Mrs. Turner, whose hard work helped to make the evening such a success.
It was a fun night filled with fun, school spirit, and unforgettable moments. Way to go, MBS performers. You brought the boom with your talent. Well, that's it for the Dolphin Rewind.
Stay tuned for more great things coming your way.
Welcome to Between the Bells, where we hit the halls to hear what students and MBS staff really think. I'm Rebel Pierce.
And I'm Henry Hayback, and believe it to not is the month of May, and that can only mean one thing for students. Grades 3 through 8 is state testing season and officially here.
That's right. Class schedules change, pencils are sharpened, and students across the school are putting their skills to the test.
To find out how everyone really feels, we took to the hallways to ask students and teachers the same question.
That's right. What is the best and the worst part of state testing? State testing shows what students really know and what they can feel proud about after they finish a test.
I believe the toughest part is sitting for long periods of time and feeling the pressure to do well. Some teachers shared that while testing can challenge, it's also a chance to see students grow and celebrate progress.
So, no matter how you feel about testing, one thing is clear. Effort, focus, and confidence is a long way to go.
Good luck to all our test takers. Remember to get a good night's sleep and eat healthy breakfast and do your best.
Signing off.
What is the best and the worst part of state testing?
I think the worst part is doing the essay, and the best part is when you finish the state test.
Thank you.
What is the best and worst part about state testing?
The worst part about state testing is that it's not fun and you're just taking tests every day. And the best part is you have no homework.
Thank you.
What is the best and the worst part of state testing? The best part is probably having off on a lot of tests and work. That would be a grade, and the state test is a grade. But the bad part is probably that you have to repeat the same thing for like 2 weeks straight, and it gets really repetitive. Thank you. What is the best and the worst part of testing?
The best part is not doing other work, and the worst part is doing it.
Thank you. What is the best and the worst part of state testing?
So I think the worst part of state testing is probably that it's really long, and the test isn't really contributing to anything in my experience. I'm still here, and I get bad grades sometimes. So, what are you gonna do? Probably the best part of state testing is that you get to skip a bunch of your classes, and don't have to do that much work on the school day. It makes the school day a little easier. It's a little break out of the year, and that's about it.
Thank you.
What is the best and the worst part of state testing?
The best part of state testing is probably the fact that we don't do that much work in other classes and that school's almost over. And the worst part is probably doing the tests.
Thank you. As a teacher, what is the best and worst part of state testing?
I think the worst is that I don't get to see all my kids every day. But I'd say the best is that it's quiet for like 3 hours straight in my classroom. Is that good? Alrighty.
What is the best and the worst part of state testing?
The best part is you really don't have to do anything for the rest of the day. The worst part, it's just boring and doesn't make sense to me.
Thank you.
Hello, I'm Logan Cheney.
And I'm Charlie Klepper, and welcome to a Little Hallway Wisdom. We're already into the month of May, and you know what that means. Summer is right around the corner. That's why we're excited to share today's dose of inspiration as we head into the final stretch of the school year.
So this month's quote, "May the Fourth be with you," a playful phrase inspired by the famous lines, "May the Force be with you" from Star Wars. Since Fourth sounds like force, many people celebrate May 4th as a fun way to honor Star Wars universe.
Not quite.
Okay, then. Maybe it's Nacho Average May. Cinco de Mayo on May 5th, and I'm thinking nachos?
Nice try, but that's not it either.
This month's quote is, "Believe you can, and you're halfway there," connecting perfectly to the May Springtime Learning Reflection and finishing strong. As testing wraps up and warmer days arrive, let these words inspire you to keep growing and believing in yourself.
And remember to make May meaningful, one quote at a time. Stay tuned for the next segment of Hallway Wisdom,
your weekly dose of inspiration.
This is The Trend, where we dive into the hottest trends everybody's been buzzing about on social media. I'm Joseph Stabler.
And I'm Austin Molson. And in this edition, we're going to check out a trend that is making a comeback from the 1970s. It's hacky sack.
If you've been walking the hallways or hanging out outside during recess, you might have noticed something that's making a major comeback. That's right, the hacky sack, officially back, and middle school students are putting their own spin on this classic playground favorite.
Hacky sack, also known as footbag, dates back to the 1970s when it became a popular and fun way to improve coordination, balance, and foot-eye skills. Originally, the goal was simple: keep the small bean-filled bag off the ground using your feet, knees, or other parts of your body except your hands.
Fast forward to today, and our students are playing a little differently. Instead of standing in a tight circle, they've turned it into a fast-paced challenges and new rules of their own, like using their hands so it resembles volleyball.
It's more than just a game. It's active, social, and a great way to unplug, get moving, and connect with friends. So whether you're a hacky sack pro or trying to do it for the very first time, one thing is clear.
This classic game is
back,
and it's kicking its way into
middle school history.
Stay tuned for more trends, where we make it make sense, right here on The Trend.
It's time for Mystery Minute, the part of the show where we put your brain to the test. That's right, we'll give you a puzzle, riddle, or a brain teaser, and you'll just have a few seconds to think it through. This week, we took the halls with a game called Who Said That? Students were given a familiar quote that teachers often say around the school. Their challenge, to guess which teacher always says it. Let's see which students correctly guessed the teacher behind the quote for a thumbs up, and which guesses missed the mark for a thumbs down.
Which teacher always says, when you get to 60 college credits, you can talk?
Miss Olson?
Yes.
That was easy.
Which teacher always says, cry me a river?
Miss Maxey. But I do know that Miss Stratus also says it, so it'll probably be there.
Which one? Nope. Which teacher always says 5, 4, 3, 2, 1? Miss Turner? No. Which teacher always says, back in my days? I don't know.
Mr. Vistano?
Yes! Which teacher always says, what's up, yo?
Miss Stratus.
Yep. Which teacher always says, Mom, I'm going to high school?
Miss Max.
Yep, thank you.
That was easy.
Which teacher always says, I can't even?
Mrs. Clark?
Yeah, thank you. Which teacher always says, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1? No. Which teacher always says, off you go?
Mrs. Brown?
Yeah. Which teacher always says, it's time to get a watch when you say, what time is it?
Miss Clark?
No, thank you. Which teacher always says, I can't even?
Pretty sure it's Miss Clark.
Yes, good job. Which teacher always says, for the love of learning?
Miss DeFalma?
Yep, thank you.
Which teacher says, my family always calls me the warden?
Miss Steininger?
That's correct.
Which teacher always says, fair?
Miss Pettis.
Yes.
Which teacher always says, boys?